Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. This is a B1 level grammar lesson. Today we're going to be talking about relative pronouns and relative defining clauses. All right, so every year technology brings us new and exciting things. So we've got here the flying cars, robotic surgeries, the smart refrigerator, the robot cleaner, and maybe think about what new inventions or technology do you think might be coming next. So match each statement about the future to an image. Go ahead and try those on your own, and then answer the questions, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So in the near future, there will be taxis that can fly to a destination. Well, that's of course picture B. In 30 years, there will be machines that perform medical operations. That would be picture D. My friend's family has a fridge that can communicate with his smartphone. That's picture C. And I think we will see robots that do housework in the next decade. That's picture A. So do you agree with any of these predictions? And do you have any intelligent appliance like a smart fridge? Okay, so Miranda works in the film industry, and so we're going to listen to her talk about the future of how we watch TV online and then answer the questions.
There are many websites which offer the opportunity to watch TV programs or movies on demand. These websites already use basic AI technology. This enables them to collect information about their customers, which helps them to predict what their viewers will enjoy watching. In the next 10 years, I think these predictions will become more and more accurate. Soon, these websites will know what you want to watch before you do.
Okay, so which of these statements reflect Miranda's ideas about the future? There will be websites that collect information about their customers. Well, that's already true. That's not really about the future. There will be websites that predict our viewing habits. That, I think, is the one that reflects her ideas about the future. All right, so now see if you can fill in the blanks using the words from the boxes, and then you can listen to check your answers.
There are many websites which offer the opportunity to watch TV programs or movies on demand. These websites already use basic AI technology. This enables them to collect information about their customers, which helps them to predict what their viewers will enjoy watching. In the next 10 years, I think these predictions will become more and more accurate. Soon, these websites will know what you want to watch before you do.
So how do websites know your interests? Well, a lot comes from your search history if you're Googling different things, or the ads that you click on. Those can all be things that can collect information about what you're interested in, and that's how they use AI along with that data to make those predictions. Okay, so now we're going to listen to Carl talk about cars that can drive themselves, and then you'll answer these questions, true or false.
Cars which drive themselves have been a common sight in science fiction movies for decades. Now they are becoming a reality. There are some companies that have already produced a driverless car, although most are still in the development or testing phases. In the next 10 years, I believe that we will start to see more driverless cars on our roads. However, there have been some accidents recently which might slow the process down.
All right, so we have already seen self-driving cars in science fiction films. That is true. There aren't any companies that have developed driverless cars yet. That's false. Carl thinks that we will see more driverless cars on the road in the next decade. That's true. Driverless cars don't have accidents. That's false. All right, defining clauses. We use a defining relative clause to give more information about a thing. So there are two sentences for each example, and the second one gives more information. So a Labrador is a type of dog. A Labrador is a type of dog that plays well with children. This is an invention. This is an invention which everyone will use. Jane is a teacher. Jane is a teacher who works at my school. Whale Beach is a place. Whale Beach is a place where I would like to live. So we're going to be looking a little more closely at the words in bold: that, which, who, and where. So we're going to just take a look at some of the connecting words we use to join clauses. And we'll only be looking at some of them in this lesson. We'll be looking at the other ones in more detail in later lessons. So each dependent clause begins with a connecting word. So Kate is a person who works every day of the week. That is the person whom we met last year. This is an invention which will change the world. This is a chocolate cake that my mother bought. I remember the summer when we traveled together. And this is the city where I grew up. So now make some full sentences by matching the first half of the sentence with the defining relative clause on the other side. You can try that on your own and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So an actor is a person who stars in films. A kiwi is a fruit that is green on the inside. Do you know a neighborhood where I can find a good gym? This is a cinema, which is always busy on the weekend, and we live in a world where some people don't have enough to eat. So today we're going to look at who, that, and which. So a defining relative clause always follows the noun that it modifies. So she is a person who will become a famous scientist one day. So person is the noun, and this clause follows it, and it's describing that person. Hassan ate the pizza that was on the table. Here, pizza is the noun. That was on the table describes the pizza. If the defining relative clause describes a thing, we use which or that. There will be a plane that can fly nonstop from London to Auckland. There will be a plane which can fly nonstop from London to Auckland. And if the defining relative clause describes a person, we can use who or that. Simon is a student who has a very bright future. Simone is a student who has a very bright future, or Simone is a student that has a very bright future. Okay, so we're going to listen to Bethany and then answer the questions.
Have you ever been in a foreign country where you didn't speak the language? Gone are the days when you needed to carry your dictionary or phrasebook. Many people who need language support turn to online language tools. These services have come a long way in the last few years, and the translations are much more accurate than they used to be. In the next 10 years, I predict that this dramatic improvement will continue.
All right, so Bethany asks, have you ever been to a foreign country where you didn't speak the language? And many people learning English turn to online tools. So now think about these questions. How does the internet affect your language learning? What sites do you visit to help you learn English? And what site would you recommend to someone who wants to learn English? And if you'd like to answer those questions, you can put your answers in the comments at the end of the video. All right, so a defining relative clause can be used to give more information about something. And so we can look at how the relative adjective joins the two sentences. So we've got, there is a girl in my class. A girl in my class can speak 3 languages. There is a girl in my class who can speak 3 languages. So the second clause gives more details about the girl, and the word who joins the 2 clauses. So we're going to listen to Lee talk about the future of medicine. Her first sentence has 2 clauses. Does Lee use who, that, which, or where? And do you agree with Lee's prediction about robot doctors? So let's listen.
Doctors already use technology which enables them to identify diseases such as cancer at an early stage. In the next 10 years, I think this technology will continue to advance. I'm not sure whether robot doctors will ever replace their human counterparts. I think it will depend if humans are willing to trust a robot to make a life or death decision.
All right, so she used which as the to join the 2 sentences. And do you agree with Lee's prediction about robot doctors? So now we're going to practice with defining relative clauses. You're going to join the 2 sentences with who, that, where, or which by replacing the words in bold. And some may have more than one answer. Okay, go ahead and try that on your own, and then you can restart when you're ready to check your answers. So there are cars. Cars can drive themselves. So this one, we replace the word cars with which. There are cars which can drive themselves. Which or that, we could use either one of those. I have a smartphone. The smartphone can communicate with my watch. So I have a smartphone, and we would say that or which can communicate with my watch. Computers are an invention. Computers have dramatically changed the way we live. So we can replace computers with that or which. Silicon Valley is a suburb. In this suburb, there are many companies that focus on AI. So this one is a place, so we would use where. Silicon Valley is a suburb where there are many companies that focus on AI. Coding is a subject. This subject is studied by many students these days. So again, we can use that or which. Professor Gray is a person. This person has many innovative ideas. So with person, we would use who or that. And Hubble is a telescope. The telescope can see far into the universe. So again, here we would use that or which. Okay, a discovery is something that we find unexpectedly or while searching for it. In 1992, the first planet outside our solar system was discovered. Today, scientists have discovered more than 4,000 exoplanets. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin, the world's first antibiotic, in 1928. Penicillin has saved hundreds of millions of lives. And in 2004, scientists made an incredible discovery. They discovered human bones that belong to a type of human, Homo floresiensis. This human stood just over 35 inches tall, or 0.89 meters. So now you're going to skim the text quickly and find the defining relative clause. And remember, skimming, you're not reading everything completely word for word. You're just looking. Probably the easiest way would be to look for that, who, which, or where to find the defining relative clause. So, which showed the existence. And what did the Hubble telescope discover? So more than 3,000 galaxies in just a small area of skies. Okay, the Mulgara, again, you're going to skim to try to find the defining relative clause. So this one doesn't really have a relative pronoun. It just says is a small. Oh, I'm sorry. That was discovered recently. That's the defining relative clause. And again, here, a site that used advanced building techniques. All right, so we're going to talk now about some common errors. Remember that the relative adjectives that, who, and which replace a thing, and the relative adverb where replaces a place. And here's some example sentences with common mistakes. The film is about a man, he wins a lot of money, but it should be who or that, not he. There are a lot of people, they want to learn English. There are a lot of people either who or that want to learn English. New York is a city. You can find every type of food there. It should be New York is a city where you can find every type of food. And in writing, we don't use a comma before a defining relative clause. So you would not need a comma here. All right, so look at the two examples and then make your own defining relative clauses using the prompts. So a zoologist is a scientist who studies the behavior of animals, or an herbivore is an animal that eats plants. So go ahead and try these on your own. You can come up with your own defining relative clauses. So it can be anything that you want. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.